What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. After being out since the end of May, Gucci Mane has put out his first post-prison album titled Everybody Looking. The campaign for it has been really strong. I mean, being on house arrest sort of limits Gucci and what he can do, but instead of, being out there doing media and touring and stuff, he replaces that with strong material that he's released. The singles have been good. And then he's put out video after video after video. It's got to be like 4 or 5 videos at this point with no signs of stopping. So Gucci's been making the most of his time leading up to this album. And really, everybody looking is like one big victory lap for Gucci. He celebrates being sober, having good health, what he's done in hip hop, overcoming so many roadblocks in his career. So there's all of that to celebrate, and it's a different Gucci, but at the same time, it's very similar to the old Gucci. I don't think he talks too much about like drinking and smoking because he's not doing that anymore. But for the most part, you still get the quality street music from Gucci Mane. He talks about Atlantic Records possibly dropping him twice, which is weird because he's obviously releasing this album through Atlantic, so that's not happening. But you gotta also keep in mind that a lot of the lyrics, at least half of the album, was written while behind bars. So when you have that and you're stuck there, you're kind of, hearing things. I might get dropped, I might not. Luckily, he didn't get dropped because Atlantic and Gucci have a good partnership, and they've been putting a lot of effort into this album. As far as lyrics go, I think First Day Out the Feds is still my favorite. Those lyrics are just so much superior. It's like the most focus I've ever heard Gucci in terms of just straight heat for about 2 minutes before the instrumental goes for the remaining time. But there's also some strong contenders on this album. You got a record like Pussy Print, and it's crazy because those two verses from Gucci and Kanye are some of the album's best, but that hook is just awful. It's atrocious. It's probably the worst on the album. I like that there's a contrast between the two. You have Gucci who raps about his money. Then you have Kanye who raps about fucking in every room. The restroom, her mom's house, a concert. There's no limit. And I think one of the things that was cool is that they kind of had this, different perspective. Like, obviously Gucci came up with the concept, sent it to Kanye, but instead of Kanye trying to rap about money and, sort of mimicking what Gucci was doing, he went in a different route. And it works out because the song's concept fits both of that. Unfortunately, that hook is just awful. It's just bad. I wish it would just go away. I need a version with no hook. Just Gucci verse, Kanye verse. With all the good music that's on the project, I would say about 4 or 5 songs are really extraordinary. And, ones that you could put in like Gucci's catalog of his best music. But there's a lot of filler on here. You got Gucci Please, you got Rob, pop music. Like, those 3 records itself, they don't stand out. I've listened to them several times, and they're just kind of there. They're there in between some really good records, and that was like my biggest fault about the album. I like that there's like a nursery rhyme style that kind of pops up a few times. You got All My Children, like the hook. It sounds very nursery rhyme-esque. The beat of at least the M has like those kind of elements to it. And then you got Young Thug's childlike excitement for Gucci being home on Guwop home. Like he's the little child who's waiting at the door for dad to get off of work. That's how excited he sounds. And it's a good record. When I first heard it, I was kind of weary about it being on an album because it felt like a record you just drop as a Lucy and then go on to, the album material, but it actually fits here. The outro is titled Pick Up the Pieces, and it's a fitting one. There's a bonus track, Multi-Millionaire LaFleur, but I'm not counting that. I'm just looking at the outro. What's labeled as the outro is Pick Up the Pieces. And it's like I said, it's a fitting outro because it really reflects on everything that's changed in Gucci's life. All the cards being stacked against him, the feds coming for him, selling all his artists, and now being what he calls a loner. And then there's that kind of like that looming paranoia that we see on first day out the feds. Like he's aware that the feds are trying to build a case against him, and I think that adds more emotion to Gucci's music is when he raps just like that, and on first day out the feds. I felt like this was a very important album for Gucci. I mean, just off the title alone, everybody looking, and it's a fact. Everybody is paying attention to Gucci right now, and they want to see what he can do. And I don't think this is like that project where he hits his potential. I think this is like that warm-up project. Just the other day, Zaytoven confirmed that Gucci and Drake are doing that EP. It might be called Sixers. Not particularly fond of the title, but whatever. So it's clear that Gucci is just warming up. But as far as everybody looking, I think it has some good material on it. It has some filler material. It has some misses. It's pretty much everything you expect out of a Gucci Mane album. In my opinion, there's maybe 4 or 5 songs that I'll keep off of this and continue to play, but the rest of it's kind of like filler to me. Those are my thoughts on Gucci Mane's latest album, Everybody Looking. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.